It was a warm Saturday afternoon, the kind of day perfect for gathering with friends and family. The backyard smelled of slow-cooked ribs, the grill hissed as juices dripped onto hot coals, and laughter filled the air. Neighbors strolled by, some waving and others stopping for a quick chat, tempted by the aroma drifting across the fences. Everyone seemed to be enjoying the atmosphere. Everyone except Karen. From across the street, her blinds twitched with every puff of smoke that rose into the sky. She had complained before about too much noise and unsightly gatherings, but this time she seemed to be building her anger for something bigger. As the music played softly and more guests arrived, Karen's disapproving gaze grew sharper. The stage for conflict was quietly being set. As the afternoon rolled on, the scent of barbecue only grew stronger, drifting into every corner of the street. Guests filled their plates, the laughter got louder, and the grill continued to smoke. But Karen's patience thinned with every passing minute. She stepped outside, hands on hips, glaring toward the party as though her stare alone could end it. She muttered about air pollution and health hazards, determined to find a way to shut it down. While others enjoyed the gathering, she stormed back inside, her curtains snapping shut. Minutes later, she picked up the phone. The decision was made. If she couldn't stop the fun herself, she would bring in authority. With a smirk, she called the fire department, convinced the end of the barbecue was near. The party carried on, unaware of Karen's call, until the distant sound of sirens began to echo down the street. Conversations paused, heads turned, and children ran to the fence, eager to see what was happening. Soon enough, a bright red fire truck rolled slowly into the neighborhood, lights flashing but sirens silenced. Guests exchanged puzzled looks, wondering if there was an emergency nearby. Karen, however, stepped proudly onto her porch, arms crossed with satisfaction. To her, the arrival of the fire department was proof that she had won. She imagined the grill being doused with water, the party dispersed, and her neighborhood restored to silence. The guests fell into an uneasy hush, waiting to see why the fire department had come directly to the house with the barbecue. The fire crew stepped out, calm and professional, carrying only a few light tools. They walked toward the backyard, greeted by the nervous host and the questioning eyes of party guests. Karen trailed behind them at a distance, already rehearsing in her mind how she would explain the dangerous fire hazard she had reported. The firefighters approached the grill, inspected the setup, and took a slow look around the yard. Everything was in order. The grill was properly maintained, water was nearby for safety, and the backyard was well kept. Guests stood quietly, waiting for the verdict, while Karen leaned forward eagerly, certain she would soon hear the order to shut everything down. The fire chief finally straightened up, exchanging glances with his team. Something unexpected was about to unfold. The chief shook his head slightly, then turned toward the host with a faint smile. He explained that nothing was out of place, the barbecue was perfectly safe, and the gathering was harmless. For a brief moment, silence covered the yard as Karen froze in place. Then, one of the firefighters let out a chuckle, glancing toward the grill and joking about how good the ribs smelled. Another joined in, laughing as he asked if there were any extras to spare. Guests began to grin, relief washing over them, and whispers spread quickly that Karen's complaint had been baseless. The tension that had filled the air moments ago began to dissolve. What had started as an attempted shutdown was rapidly turning into something much more humiliating for Karen. Karen's face turned red as the laughter grew louder. The firefighters politely but firmly told her there was no violation, no emergency, and absolutely no reason for them to be called. Guests exchanged knowing glances, some unable to hide their amusement as Karen tried to defend herself, muttering about smoke and community standards. But her words fell flat. The firefighters didn't entertain her excuses, instead thanking the host for their cooperation and joking once again about how delicious the food smelled. One even patted the grill admiringly before heading back toward the truck. Karen stood stiffly, realizing the very people she had summoned now saw her as the problem. Her authority had crumbled, and the neighbors she once tried to control were quietly reveling in her humiliation. As the fire truck pulled away, the atmosphere in the backyard shifted from nervous tension to open celebration. Guests clapped, some raised their glasses, and the music started again, this time a little louder than before. The smell of ribs filled the air once more, and plates were passed around generously, even more so now that the fire department had essentially approved the gathering. Karen retreated quickly into her house, slamming the door behind her, but the sound only fueled the laughter outside. The host, feeling vindicated, sliced more racks of ribs and handed them out proudly, as if the party had survived a great trial. What was once a casual barbecue had now become a story for the entire block, one that no one would soon forget. In the days that followed, the story spread quickly through the neighborhood. People repeated how Karen had called the fire department over nothing, only to end up being laughed at by the very authorities she trusted to side with her. The once feared and dreaded neighbor became the subject of quiet jokes and knowing smirks. Meanwhile, the host earned more respect for keeping calm under pressure and for hosting the party that turned into a legendary neighborhood moment. Every time the smell of barbecue drifted into the street afterward, neighbors smiled, remembering Karen's humiliation. She had set out to end the fun, but instead, she became the punchline of the story. Her attempt at control only strengthened the bonds between the very people she wished to silence. This was just one of many wild neighborhood stories. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit subscribe and turn on the bell, because here at QZ Stories, we bring you the craziest tales of revenge, justice, and neighborhood drama every week. Don't miss the next one. It might just be even more unbelievable.